I went to watch this movie without knowing much about it. Honestly, I saw some TikToks of people reacting of how insane this movie was. Like families reacting, their boyfriend or girlfriend, themselves. So I naturally decided to give it a watch. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't this. Spoilers ahead. So, initially, for some reason, I thought the character played by Jacob Elordi had some weird vibe around him, and so did his family. Turns out, I'm just not rich enough to understand, how the rich people act. But yeah, I thought this was gonna be like a Get Out situation, but it was so much more. Oliver's ambition was noticeable from the beginning by dumping his only friend for Felix, but in a masterful work of screenwriting, we kind of brushed it off as he's just in love with Jacob Elordi like half of the planet is. Which is a point for the casting director, by the way. This wouldn't have worked half as well if it wasn't because of that. Like, imagine if they cast me. That wouldn't work. That plus the industrial amount of tension between the two characters, that sold it for me. The movie is really effective in showing the lavish lifestyle of Felix's family, and in a way, that generosity can almost feel like charity. They feel pity for him, and this pity is also felt by the audience, aka us. We feel bad for Oliver. Then, when Felix finds out that he's been lying all along, we get confused too. We feel like we've been lied to. That's very, very good. That's like a great way of showing to the audience what's happening. It's a masterful work of cinematography, direction, and writing. It's so good, I almost feel like that last scene when Oliver is recounting his actions isn't really necessary. Like, we almost get all the context we need just by seeing it. After Felix's death and that crazy graveyard scene, we can see Oliver as he is, desperate. My theory is that Oliver loved Felix, but as a means, not as an end. In the same way he tried to approach his sister Venetia. But when Felix told him about how somebody else had already tried that before and didn't work, then he changed his plans. I'm certain that Oliver planned to get close to Felix, but he wasn't planning on getting rid of all the family from the beginning. That I don't think. And the fact that everyone told Oliver how disposable he was, that he was just that year's Felix's summer toy. Looking in retrospect, it's clear that he cared to some extent about Felix, but certainly not enough to let him live to tell his family the lie Oliver was feeding them. If he lived, Oliver would have been out of the Saltburn mansion the next morning. It bought him time at a very steep price. The rest was easier for him. He really didn't care about the other members of the family. In short, Saltburn is a very steamy film about a sociopath with massive ambition and cold blood running through his veins. The cinematography is spectacular. The score, the music selection is top tier, as well as the direction by Emerald Fennell. I wasn't expecting anything from this film, but I'm quite glad I watched it. I don't think you should watch it with your parents though, but that's up to you. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.